Hello everybody and welcome back to Spintires Mudrunner, and today we're going to be exploring the map Forestry 2, and at this time I'm actually in the Gominu. It's a Unimog basically, and an earlier model Unimog, and let's get on with the show. I'll do it this way, and just throw everything in. I've got plenty of fuel because I've got the auxiliary tank on the back, and then we go into this boggy area here up towards the fuel station, and yeah, I've marked all the waypoints out. I'm marking the watch points, and as you can sort of see with this thing, I can sort of, it's like the grub draw and all the other mods by this guy, my Roto 1979 is very good at ducking and diving through the trees, although it's not as quick. But it is pretty much a tractor, and is actually a really unstoppable truck. I'm going to weigh it down a bit with some fuel, as that's about the only weakness this thing has, is a small fuel capacity. And then I'll might as well fill it up. At least the extra weight will help keep this on its wheels. And get a nice move along. And I suppose I could also have brought a garage trailer and unlocked the extra garage on this map. But as I was saying, this thing's so capable that you can pretty much go wherever you want. And through the block post here. There's the first watch point over there. There's also some rough sort of hillside thing there. And that one. As you can see, you have some rocky hillsides there, and there's the first mill up there, and a 4320. Or at least this time there's a 4320. So I won't be heading up there because I want to get to these watch points. Also, me driving through the trees at high speed is probably a lot more entertaining to watch than say just driving down this road here at high speed. So I'm going to head off road here and through the stones, and which of course is going to do a bit of damage. Mostly because I'm going fast. And I wonder if someone will port across the old Spintires Plus mod will remove the need for me to worry about things like fuel and damage whilst shooting around on maps like this. And I can do stuff like I did on my tour of Cruiser Adventure back in Spintires, and sort of just hoon around in a pre-runner and crashing into everything. And as you can see, this thing just does not notice pretty much anything other than deep water, although it's got quite decent fording depth capabilities. I think there's a garage over there. There's a garage over there. As you can see, we just become ripping through the trees here. I suppose I should take that a bit slower. I actually have no idea what's on the other side. Apparently it's a fast moving creek. Yeah. Oh, this camera. It's so frustrating at times. Yeah, that is deep. Yeah, maybe I should be a bit more careful. Actually, what I'll do is garage, not that cart, not garage, that way, and then I'll just head for the first garage point and get a top up from that. Then I should have enough fuel. Should have known that would have been a bit deep. I guess pretty much every watercourse on here is pretty much designed to sink a vehicle. And as you can see, this thing, even with a trailer on the back, it just does not slow down for anything. The worst issue is with the camera on this thing. At the speeds I'm driving, I can't really see where I'm going. Let myself actually see what I'm doing. And as we make our way ever so slowly, that's pretty much why this vehicle is so unstoppable on this, because it's quite low geared and reasonably powerful. I also think it has a lot of traction with those tractor style wheels. And as you can see here, this little puddle here is just about deep enough to do damage. So I'm assuming the map creator of this one was a fan of deep water. We'll have to try and find the link for this too, because I usually link to the maps that I tour and all that, and all mods that I use, but 50-50, I mean Spintires now doesn't seem to have it at the moment, and I've noticed some of the websites that have this mods on them can be a little dodgy at times. And as you can see, we've already made it to the first garage. At which point I'll unload this lot and we'll see what we get next. Okay, unload. And carriage utility, wheel, and another utility attachment just to weigh the back of this thing down. See, this is probably where I should have come across. Long to get across. There's actually a way across here that is passable. If we follow this track, there's an area where it's actually quite shallow. It actually looks like a bridge sunk in the water. And then as you can see, the watch point was exactly where I was heading anyway. Now with that we have done the second one, and yeah, you can see this is sort of like a swampy area here, one of the lumber mills, more waterways. Oh, that ended just around the thing, I could have driven around it. What a nong. And as you can see, I'm back to sneaking through the trees at speed. Now this is a little larger than the grub craw, so I do have to take this a bit slower. And let's see, where are we now? Oh yeah, this was on the other side of that, wasn't it? I don't know why there's a block post here, there's actually nothing on the other side. At least nothing that I've noticed. think I saw a truck parked over here once, but that's about it. And I mean, now that we've cleared that, yeah, there's a K700 up the road, and sort of nothing else really. Alright, time to follow the road south. And back across the bridge. And this time I'm actually going to follow the road because, well, it's the easiest way. There's this rocky hill on the left side. Oh, wrong button. And just tie everything together just so we can get to move along. And we got this trail here, and I'm going to come around here to avoid these rocks. And seriously, some of these map makers seem to be in love with deep mud. Though I do find it does get a bit tedious after a while. I mean, I've already had one map I was checking out basically lead me to rage quitting because I just got sick of the mud. Well, not so much the mud, but also the bridge tilted in such a way that the vehicle I was driving would just slide off uncontrollably. I might try that one again. And, I don't know, record it so that everyone else can get a laugh at my expense. Now I'm trying to remember where... No, I think it was... Yeah, I think I can come down here and just take this... Go through here, it's probably a bit easier. Especially when I've got 8 gears to play with. Although this area is pretty rugged looking. And it will be a bit of a challenge if you have a vehicle of lesser capability. And I mean, as you can sort of see, I'm really testing this right now. And then, yes, that's this right, it was up this road here. If I remember right, there's also the river crossing, which is pretty deep and swift flowing, although you can get across with a reasonably capable truck. There's also a slightly easier way up river a bit. I certainly ended up with the K700s stashed over here because a lot of vehicles had a hard time getting out of the water. And it's not actually straight line, you sort of have to follow this sort of curve here. And I've only ever done it going that way because I could head across back up. I'm just going to duck up here and basically follow the line, seeing that it goes to the right place. And I know I can cross there because when I first explored this map, when I played it through, had a playthrough to check it out, I actually crossed here in this truck actually, so I certainly know I can do it. You also have the convenience of trees to bail you out of trouble. And we'll just come along here through all the reeds and all that jazz. And as you can see, it's quite shallow here. And just onward, because it is quite deep. And you can just drive around the end here. And if I remember whether that's not the one I want. And I'm still a little messed up by... Oh, I sort of expect everything to be where Spintires left it, and the control layout has changed a bit, but force of habit is hard to break. Now we can just duck up along here, and then just follow, I think it's this road here, here it is. And it leads to the log loading area, which is where we'll be finishing this tour as we'll be at the destination. Actually, I might actually have a video for Monday night now, because I finished to record 2 today. Oh yeah, and this one. I keep forgetting about this one. And there's a 535 there. That'd actually be handy for getting across the river. Whoops. Yeah, this is a rugged spot. But of course this thing doesn't seem to care. And Unimogs are actually pretty capable off-road, so that's what this is based on, so it's not really all that surprising. As you can see, I'm just going full speed ahead through all the trees and shite. Probably not the smartest course of action, as I've never been through here before, but at least... Oh, what the... Yeah, you better not have frozen. And... yeah, we're almost to the destination here. And then through this puddle, it's actually kind of deep. Okay, what is that computer doing that's making the game lag? Alright, there's a K700 here to help you with the loading, and that is it for everything, I believe. Yes, this is the whole map. As you can see, 5 lumber mills, and that one's in the middle of a swamp, that one's in town, and of course you have all the other stuff. And I guess we can leave this one here, and I'll see you next time in Spintires Mudrunner.